You know that feeling when you finally decide to upgrade your TV, only to realize the cheap smart set you snagged for a steal looks great in the box but turns every movie night into a pixelated disappointment? I've been there, and it's why I always pause before hitting buy now on any piece of tech that promises a cinema-like experience. The market is flooded with 55-inch LED panels that claim HDR while the blacks look more gray than midnight, and the temptation to save a few $100 can turn into a regret you'll feel every time you press play. The question I kept asking myself was, does the Sony K77XR80 77-inch IMAX enhanced Bravia OLED actually feel like a smarter purchase, or is it just another pricey hype machine? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's dig into the realities of living with a 77-inch OLED in a typical home environment, because the size alone can change how you interact with your living room, your furniture, and even your eye strain after a marathon gaming session. First off, the biggest advantage of this TV is the pure black OLED contrast that Sony advertises. In practice, this means the screen can turn each individual pixel off, delivering a true black that LCDs simply can't match. I tested this on a dimly lit bedroom, watching a classic noir film with heavy shadow work. The dark alleyways stayed genuinely dark, and the highlights, a street lamp flickering in the rain, popped without any blooming around them. For anyone who loves true-to-life movies, especially under a controlled lighting setup, that contrast difference is noticeable right away. It's not just a marketing line, it's the kind of visual depth you feel even if you're not a videophile. On the flip side, that same high contrast can be a double-edged sword in bright rooms. I placed the TV opposite a large window with morning sun pouring in, and while the OLED's built-in dimming helped, the glare was still enough to wash out the subtler colors in a daytime sports broadcast. If you plan to watch most of your content during daylight without curtains or blinds, you'll need to invest in some window treatments or accept a slightly muted picture. It's a practical trade-off that many buyers overlook when they focus solely on the headline specs. Now, the powerful TV processing claim is where the K77XR80 software gets interesting. Sony's cognitive processor XR is designed to analyze each frame and upscale content, making even 1080p shows look sharper on a 4K panel. In a side-by-side test with a standard 4K HDR broadcast, the difference was subtle but present, edges were cleaner, and motion looked smoother during fast action sequences like a car chase in a thriller. For gamers, this is a real benefit. I paired the TV with a PlayStation 5, enabling the game mode that reduces input lag to a level that feels almost instantaneous. The OLED's response was fast enough that I could actually compete in fast-paced shooters without the dreaded ghosting that you sometimes see on cheaper LED panels. If you're a console gamer who wants a large, immersive display without sacrificing responsiveness, this TV checks that box. One feature that often goes unnoticed is the cleans without dripping note in the spec sheet. Sony has added a hydrophobic coating to the screen surface, which repels fingerprints and makes cleaning easier. I tried wiping the screen with a microfiber cloth after a family movie night, and the smudges lifted away without the need for a spray solution. It's a small convenience, but when you have a 77-inch surface, avoiding streaks is a huge time saver. Most OLEDs are prone to showing even the tiniest speck of dust, so this coating actually contributes to a consistently clean picture over months of use. The bundle includes a 2-year amber protection plan, which covers accidental damage like screen cracks. OLEDs are notoriously costly to replace, so this kind of coverage adds tangible value. I've seen friends lose a single nail on an OLED panel and end up with a $2,000 repair bill. Having that safety net on a 77-inch TV, where the panel itself is an expensive component, makes the purchase feel less risky, especially for households with kids or pets. Who should consider buying this TV? If you already have a dedicated media room or a living space that can accommodate a 77-inch screen without overwhelming the room, you'll benefit from the immersive size and the deep blacks. Film enthusiasts, gamers who use next-gen consoles, and anyone who watches a lot of HDR or IMAX enhanced content will appreciate the picture quality gains. It also makes sense for buyers who value the longer lifespan that an OLED provides, thanks to its lower power consumption compared to large LED panels. On the other hand, there are clear reasons to skip it. First, the price point is still high. Even with the protection plan, it's not a budget upgrade. If your primary viewing is casual TV or streaming during the day in a bright area, a more modest 55-inch LED with a good local dimming zone might deliver comparable satisfaction for less money. Second, the physical size demands a sturdy wall.